Hi, so we're going to be talking about a little chemistry. Okay, so I'm going to be reading some things here, and before that, you've heard this before. But it bears repeating that carbon is the element of life. So much that when we explore other planets, the first thing we'll look for is compounds that contains carbons. In fact, it says here, there was a time when we thought that carbon compounds could only be produced by living things. So early chemists call them, as we still today, the organic compounds. Scientists back then considered biological molecules to be almost mystical and origin. Until 1828, when German chemist Friedrich Wahler discovered the urea, a component of urine. And because of that proved biological molecules were just chemicals that could be created and manipulated in the lab. Suddenly, a new branch of chemistry was born, and it is called the organic chemistry. So, what is it about in carbon that makes it so special? So here are just some of my classmates that's gonna explain furthermore about it.
So what is it about carbons though? What makes it so special? Well, carbons contain 4 electrons, which can bond to other atoms that can form different kinds of structures. Carbon is the foundation of the most biological molecules, and the simplest organic molecules are pure hydrocarbons.
What are hydrocarbons? A hydrocarbon is an organic chemical compound that is composed exclusively of hydrogen and carbon atoms. Hydrocarbons are naturally occurring compounds and form the basis of crude oil, natural gas, coal, and other important energy sources. Wow! There are 4 classes of hydrocarbons. These include alkanes, alkenes, alkynes, and aromatic. Hydrocarbons are the principal constituents of petroleum and natural gas. They serve as fuels and lubricants as well as raw materials for the production of fibers, rubbers, plastics, solvents, explosives, and other industrial chemicals. The most important use of hydrocarbons is for fuel. Gasoline, natural gas, fuel oil, jet fuel, diesel fuel, coal, kerosene, and propane are just some of the commonly used hydrocarbon fuels. Hydrocarbons are also used to make things including plastics and synthetic fabrics such as polyester.
Hydrocarbons are also used as motor oil. Motor oil consists of several hydrocarbons. It lubricates the moving parts of car engines.
Asphalt. Asphalt pavement on highways is made of hydrocarbons found in petroleum. Candle. Many candles are made of paraffin wax, a solid mixture of hydrocarbons. Lighter. This lighter burns the hydrocarbon named butane. Rain boots. These rain boots are made of a mixture of several hydrocarbons. Transportation. These forms of transportation are fueled by different mixtures of hydrocarbon.
Application of hydrocarbons. First, natural gas and fuel. Most of the natural fuel sources that we utilize in our day-to-day life is made of hydrocarbons only. Second are plastics. The plastic substances that we use in our daily life are made up of long chain of monomers formed by petrochemicals. The petrochemicals are hydrocarbons with different composition. Next is paraffin. The waxes employed in the formation of candles and medical and industrial use are made up of hydrocarbons only. Next is asphalt. Asphalt, when heated, forms tar, which is a key industrial ingredient and extensively used for construction of roads. Next is pharmaceutics. Hydrocarbons are employed in the manufacturing of drugs. Health and environmental effects of hydrocarbons. Pollution control and environmental protection is a worldwide issue of concern nowadays. Hydrocarbons can enter to the environment via dispersion, evaporation, dissolution, and absorption, and the other process including petroleum and petroleum combustion. The aliphatic hydrocarbons and aromatic hydrocarbons such as benzene, toluene, and polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons including benzoanthracene, benzopyrrolene, and benzopyrene are persistent organic pollutants of the ecosystem. These hazardous pollutants are very risky because of mutagenic, carcinogenic, immunotoxic, and teratogenic effects. These components threaten all life forms ranging from microorganisms to humans when they are released into the environment, especially via human activities. If it enters to the lungs, it can cause pneumonia-like condition irreversible, permanent lung damage, or it can even cause death. Some hydrocarbons can cause other effects including coma, seizures, irregular heart rhythms, or damage to the kidneys or liver.
So, recent studies have recognized the effects of toxicity, mutagenicity, and carcinogenicity of hydrocarbons. So, an increasing contamination level of these pollutants in environment, especially in aquatic media, is a significant environmental concern because they are used frequently and show environmental toxic effects.
If waste is properly disposed of, it helps to reduce further emissions that can enhance public health. The risk of respiratory disease is exacerbated by contaminated air. Waste that is correctly disposed of has a lower risk of getting into the source of water and causing disease.
A cup of coffee with the right amount of sugar, how you like